Namaste, Galactic Family. Welcome back to my channel, IndigoAngel. Welcome if you're new, and thank you for your continued love and support of my channel. So today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about a lesser-known star system, a lesser-known stargate. This star system is very hidden within the deep psyche of the collective, and I've just been picking up on this radio light source slowly as we transition into what's going to be October here. Essentially, I typically attune to these radio light sources, and I'm always surprised when I really come into the alignment and the awareness of a new star system that has a profound mythology on the planet, or has even a tragic expression. So I've been coming into a lot of these lesser known gates that hold these more tragic expressions on the planet. And I felt that this one was highly important. I felt that this one was worth talking about because this particular stargate I'm going to tell you guys about it's overlooked. It is not typically acknowledged, and I think that this unacknowledgement is why this stargate system, those who hold this placement of this star, cannot really overcome or be satisfied or be helped or really be relieved of their burdens or the weight that they carry. So I wanted to bring some acknowledgement to the star system today. I'm not going to do a reading on this stargate, but I just want to get the mythology out. So this is a Shaula Starseed, and a Shaula Starseed is the tail of the scorpion. This is the last star in the J hook. So the shape of the scorpion constellation is in the shape of a J, and the actual top line of the J coming down into Antares, which is the heart of the scorpion, this is all placed outside of the Milky Way. But as you come down the J of the scorpion, hook around into the tail, you come into Shala, and Shala resides right in the nano diamonds of the Milky Way, and that plays a huge aspect in its mythology. Its expression as well is being located right in the Milky Way, and I'll get more into that. But essentially, yes, this is the star that is the tail of the scorpion, and it's considered the stinger star. So as far as the planetary bodies that reside in Shala or extraterrestrial beings that incarnate from Shala, I have not picked up on this vision just yet. A lot of times how the star system transducts or integrates or transmits through me is I will live through that life experience of the Shala incarnate. So the reality, the depth, the emotions, the inner psyche, it all becomes mine for a period of time. And for me to experience, for me to really get it, it will show me, it will imprint into my reality and be like, look, this is my story, and please talk about it. So essentially, what I'm seeing through Shala is desperation, sadness, pain, loneliness, misunderstanding, denial, rejection. You'll come to understand that as far as the lesser known stars, a lot of the lesser known stars, not all of them, many stars are not a part or affiliated with the Guardian Alliance. So there are many star systems that are incarnating into the planet. They are seeding into the planet. They are carrying expressions, mythology, life paths, incarnation lessons. They're providing sustenance to the planet, but they are just not ever acknowledged. They're not ever seen. And it's mostly because they are not a part of the Guardian Alliance. So they never entered into that covenant. They never entered into those peace treaties or agreements. So therefore, they're just kind of left in the shadows to be discovered. And Shala essentially is, it's considered the stinger star. And those who incarnate from Shala are highly empathic. They are highly, highly psychic, sensitive, and emotionally intelligent from birth, even as babies. And I was seeing imprints as babies who carry this starseed origin. They will immediately have fear of abandonment, fear of loss, fear of losing their parents. They can be very fussy babies. They will be very attached emotionally. So to the mother, they may cry for hours and hours and hours and hours when the mother leaves. They don't like to be separated from warmth, comfort, home. It's not a good place for them. It triggers anxiety even as a baby, because they are so sensitive to the darker emotions of the human psyche. They tune right into that instantaneously from when they're born. And so they're just highly, highly psychic, highly sensitive, highly emotional, highly empathic. But it's only because they embody all of the depth and all of the potentiality of that inner scorpionic sensory ability, even magnetized even more because of its supreme location in the Milky Way, surrounded by the nanodiamonds in the Milky Way, surrounded by the crystals. So because of that location, they are energized emotionally, psychically. This is a very profound placement, very, very powerful emotions here. And if you have this celestial influence in your birth chart, if you are a Shala incarnate, if you are a Shaula Starseed, you would have these lunar alignments according to the lunar mansions, the lunar nakshatras, which is what I typically look for when I'm doing starseed origins. You would have these degree markers anywhere from 0 to 1320 degrees Sagittarius. This is in Indian sidereal. But if you go by tropical western culmination, it's 24 degrees Sag. If you go by sidereal, it's going to be 5 degrees Sag. I prefer the sidereal alignments because let's think about this. This is Scorpio. Okay, so why this is so removed into later degrees of Sagittarius is harder for me to perceive that influence would be as strong. Okay, so I think the closer that the degree systems are to the actual star system is where you're going to have the most influence. So that 0 to 1320 degrees Sagittarius marker, I do feel is the most influential aspect of the tail of the Scorpius, of the Shaula Starseed. This can be a very difficult origin to have in the chart. And you'll find as you start seeking and searching into the deeper star systems that there are many, many star systems that carry very tragic mythologies on the planet. I mean, there are actual star systems, especially if you start going into Egyptian decans, Egyptian mythology. There will be many, many Stargate systems that if you find these specific stars in the chart, it means, tragic death, murder, killing, villainous type things like thieves, incarnations where they came in to experience really deep sadness and darkness on the planet. So, there are specific star systems that I don't even like to say their name because I feel like it's an activation just to say the name. And I don't like to, really, really activate that in my world. Being such a highly empathic, sensitive empath, I, will really activate that within my reality if I trigger that Stargate system. So why I wanted to acknowledge Shala today was because Shala never feels that they are acknowledged. This is the thing about them. They're a difficult origin to have in the chart because, for one, they're in opposition to Orion. So anything that is in opposition to a Stargate system, especially Orion, being that Orion holds all of the galactic war history, Orion holds all of the, shadows and darkness of humanity. So it makes this origin very rigid. It can make this a very, as they will transmute, transmit, and reflect back and forth with Orion. So they're picking up on all of the galactic war history. They're picking up all of the shadows and darkness that Orion holds as well. So it can be just a difficult origin. They seem to, when a Shala incarnate comes into existence, they have a very powerful, very emotionally intelligent gifts. So powerful that they really do feel to the core of the earth and back. They feel everything on an empathic level. They themselves just might not be able to gauge this ability, so they will get lost in the shades of gray. They will get lost in the emotional fluctuations of their experience into the shadows, into merging and integrating and transducting through these abilities of emotional intelligence that they have. And they can't necessarily see how great their ability is, how psychic they truly is. So they will get lost. They will it will quickly become their disadvantage because they might not be able to overcome the voices in their head, so to speak. And it will become a crutch. It will become an excuse. It will become their desperation. It will become self-destruction. And so this becomes a major hurdle that this origin has to release. I really felt like I needed to just talk to you guys about this radio light source. I really felt like I needed to just put this video out here because I know it's just going to help somebody gain more clarity, more understanding, because a Shala incarnate is the face of pain. The pain and the suffering that a Shala incarnate suppresses throughout their existence will be several rounds and repeat cycles of accumulation from all that of the heart of Antares that Antares suppresses and pushes down onto Shala. Okay, so Antares takes all the glory of the Scorpion constellation. Antares is the most brightest star in the constellation. Shala is the second most brightest star in the constellation, and Shala is also a triple binary star system. So there is an A, B, and C to Shala. So everything is felt in threefold for Shala. Okay, everything that is suppressed and pushed down from Antares is felt threefold in Shala. It's a lot of the darker psyche of the Scorpion. This is the darkness, the rejection, the ridicule, the inability to be as good as Antares. All of these distortions of the Scorpionic psyche all come to a head through this origin's expression. This origin has been known to suffer with addiction, highly self-destructive behavioral patterns. It's tragic because in the sense that they are such vibrant, such optimistic. Their personalities are truly beautiful. They're just these beautiful, radiant, innocent, genuine, caring, loving souls. They give from the depth of their heart. They wear their heart on the sleeve, so to speak. And they're just truly these sweet, gentle beings, but they can embrace the distortions of that Scorpionic psyche. And it all comes to a head through this origin's expression. Everything that Antares is suppressing in their shadow comes to a head in this origin. And so it can often be too much for this origin to bear. So they really seek to find that love somewhere in their life. Those with strong placements of this origin, they've been disadvantaged since childhood. And it's to a very tragic, heart-wrenching level. They are denied love. They're denied acceptance. They're denied their true gifts. They're denied parental and guidance. They seem to choose a family that will be very mismatched to their innate frequency. They will be denied the amount of praise, love, acceptance, acknowledgement that the Shala incarnate would need to learn to believe in themselves. Okay, so it's like they are just placed in very disfortunate positions early from childhood, and this is why they are under a Sagittarian influence, is because they need that Sagittarian strength to essentially like pull out from this disadvantage. It's only that Sagittarian optimism that actually helps them survive this deep, deep disadvantage that they come into. They are often, victims of mental, emotional abuse, family abuse, rejection. They're often children that get denied their abilities and gifts. They are usually extremely talented, though. That's the thing. They are so extremely talented, but they're paired with those that will not acknowledge that gift. So it's just like this overall conundrum that happens, and they will begin to express, like in their teens and their 20s, they will express like this drive to start to try to seek that love in others, seek it in other people. And so, they will give from the deepest part of their being, but what will happen is it will often not be reciprocated. It will be not acknowledged. It will not be received in return to their expectations. And so when they start to realize this throughout their life, they will have the power to destroy, deconstruct. They will fire off. It will be revengeful because they are so hurt. They carry so much hurt that this origin will be hard, sharp, and dreadful. Their qualities are actually very similar to Hydra in the sense of how they will draw you in rhythmically. They will draw you in effortlessly. If I can think of any symbol that represents a Shala incarnate, it's going to be that circle with that circle that keeps going in that rhythm spiral. Okay, that's how they draw you in. And unfortunately, this position, the tail of the Scorpius, it grants an incarnation of pain, loss, deep lessons, sadness, loneliness, suffering. And even though the general disposition of their character is typically optimistic, you will often never be able to gauge the complete level of their sanity. And the Shala incarnate they'll even jeopardize their own health, their own life, their own safety on several occasions, numerous occasions, constantly. It will be their behavioral pattern that they have to clear because they will make these moves solely based on their scorn, their suffering, their depression, their emotions. This will be their lesson in their life, is to overcome this. And for a lot of Shala incarnates, especially if you have an exalted degree, so I say if you have this at 5 degrees Sagittarius, it can often be a very, very tragic position, because they a lot of times will not overcome this. And I am not trying to damn anybody. I'm not trying to doom anybody. This is just what I am receiving from this Stargate system. The Stargate system is showing me this trauma. When in truth, this origin possesses the ability to provide the complete opposite to anyone who comes into their life. If you ever are in a relationship with a Shala incarnate to some degree, they are going to take you to the deepest level of love. They will give the object of their desire anything that they desire. They will meet that. They will match that. They will see into the depth of you, and they will provide you a level of understanding that you've never felt in your life. They will jump into the burning pits of hell with you if that's what's required to love you. But they can equally wreck your world to the same degree if you do not submit to them when they are scorned. All Shala ever wanted was to be loved. But when they see in your eyes that you cannot match that level of their depth, and they know that you can't. They know that you can't match it, because nobody can really match the level of depth that a Shala is going to go to. But when they're scorned and love isn't what they expect, they fire back. And they are hard. They are sharp. They are dreadful. And all they want to do is to fucking destroy you. And I'm sorry I just said fucking, but like, they want to destroy you. They want to. Okay, so, and it's because they are destroyed. They are, it's such a passionate star. It's so powerful. I just feel all of this energy flowing through me, and I'm like trying to cipher through this energy myself. But essentially, if you carry this origin, just know that if you carry this celestial influence, you're not a bad person. You're not evil. You are just, you're so deep, and you will carry this mission on earth to be the face of pain. Shala incarnates are the face of pain because they are the true survivors of darkness and tragedy. And they will teach the collective the lesson of evolving into emotional intelligence and higher consciousness over unstable emotions. They are here to teach these lessons for themselves and for others. Others will watch them and see them, and they will learn through them. This origin is considered an unfortunate origin because, for one, it is not acknowledged. Their gifts are not acknowledged. They are denied. They work through all of the suppression of Antares, and they live a tragic tale. They are the ones that have to pull the trigger. They might live a life of deep suffering, and as far as pain too, they might be chronic pain sufferers. So they might actually take on sickness as well. This can, if it doesn't manifest in a tragic way, it will manifest in sickness, disabilities, just lots of ways that this origin will suffer. But it's because they will have to be the ones that have to pull the trigger. They're the ones that have to make the move to sting. Okay, so they are not above stinging. They will sting you. They are the stinger. They are the smoking gun. They will play this role, and they won't give a shit. They will play the role, and they will play it well. But they will play it for everyone else. And they know that that's what they're doing. They're playing this role for everybody else to see what pain feels like. If you don't know what pain feels like, look at a Shala incarnate. Look at somebody who holds heavy placements of Shala. Like I said, that's going to be 0 to 13, 20 degrees Sag, 5 degrees exalted, 24 degrees if you're going off tropical. I knew I had to get this message out there. I knew I had to tell you guys about this origin. It's important that we acknowledge Shala because they need to be seen. They need to heal too. And this is all about healing the collective, the planet, getting the planet's vibration up. Shala incarnates need to heal too. They need to receive the acknowledgement. They need to receive this love so that way they can see into the beauty of their soul, see into their abilities, see into the greatness that they incarnated with. They are not second to Antares, even though they are second in illumination, second in shine to Antares, okay? It is a triple binary star system. So they have many, many gifts to give, and they have so much to teach the collective. So I just want to honor the star system. I'm not going to do a reading for the star system just yet. If there are some of you who resonate with Shala as a Shala incarnate, as a Shala origin, and it's important to you that I do a reading, I will do a reading for this origin. Just reach out and let me know. Namaste, guys. And I hope your day is well. I hope your day is beautiful. Take care.